Hello. Today I want to talk about the 1, 4, and 5 chords for the key of A major. Okay, to find our 1, 4, and 5 chords for the key of A major, we'll start with the note A. That's note number 1, A, so the number 1 chord is A. Note 2 is B. Note 3 is C sharp. Note 4 is D. So our number 4 chord will be D. And our number 5 note and chord will be E. So we already met the A chord, this one, where I use my index finger on the 2nd fret for both the G strings and the D strings, and then play all 4 notes. And that works, that's this A modal chord that works for both A major and A minor. So that's our number 1 chord. We already met our number 4 chord, the D, and that's 2nd fret, index finger on the G string, middle finger on the E strings, and then you play all 4 strings. And then the 5th chord, the E chord, I used the same shape I used for the F chord, 1 fret lower. So my index finger goes on the 2nd fret, both the D strings and the A strings. And then my middle finger goes up to the G strings, or down to the G strings on the 4th fret. And then I mute the E strings with the back of my finger. And I forgot to mention when we went over this shape as the F chord that this is another modal chord. This one works for both F major or F minor, and this one works for both E major and E minor because there's no 3rd note in there. And I also forgot to mention that you can, instead of muting these E strings, you could put your ring finger down for the F chord. That would be on the 5th fret of the E strings. And that is the 3rd note of the chord. So now it's an F major. And you can do the same with E. So you could put your middle finger down now on the 4th fret of the E strings. And now that's an E major chord. I tend not to. I tend to just prefer using the 2 fingers for the E and the F chord, but there's lots of different ways to make these chords. So again, let's do our little practice with a 1, 4, 1, 5, 1 chord progression. So we'll start with our number 1 chord A. 1, 2, 3, 4. To our 4 chord, the D. Back to our 1 chord, the A. To our 5 chord, the E. And then back to our 1 chord, the A. And I should mention, actually, with this E chord, it actually doesn't matter if you let the open E strings ring out. That's just another note in the chord. So I mute it just because I like this shape working for the F chord and the E chord. But with the E chord, it doesn't matter. With the F chord, you don't want that E note in there. But with the E chord, it's just fine. Thanks, and let me know if you have any questions.